All right, welcome back. We are on, what is this, video 5? I think. You can see, of course, we've got some assembly going on here. To be fair, it's all a dry fit. The cab is not glued on, but it is glued together. I jumped ahead a little bit. I installed the windows and the cab. Quite pleased with how that looks. I'll turn on the light here so we can see inside if it'll let us. Hard to see, I know. Yeah. So the cab is pretty much done. I am not going to glue it on yet because I want to install like the mirrors and the markers and things. I'm going to leave the hood on. The main reason is that I'm afraid to try and pull it off the hinges. It's on, and I just don't know that I could take it off without breaking something. So the upside is most of what I would install on the hood is super easy to install, markers, whatever. So it's on permanently. So we're going to go ahead and we'll start working on some of the, some of the exterior details like the mirrors, markers, things of that sort, the horns, headlights. And then we'll move on to installing all of the trailer accessories like the headache rack, and the front bolsters or whatever they're called. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get started on that, and we will be back. Okay, welcome back. So you just saw me putting a few detail pieces on the cab, and I say few because I stopped recording when I got to things like mirrors. My biggest criticism of this kind of kit, and again, I hate to keep harping on AMT's faults and flaws in these kits, but there are just so many flaws. While this has been an enjoyable process for the most part, I knew when I got to things like the mirrors, I was gonna struggle. And I was going to... If you've played video games, you've all seen a rage quitter. I almost rage quit when it comes to mirrors on these things. Now, I built a few of them. I thought I had a system down, but it just gets harder and harder. The problem is that the mirrors aren't one piece. You got to glue together this piece, this piece, this piece, all of it. Again, like I explained in my last video, there are no pinholes for to put the end of a part into. There's no, you have to glue a surface to a surface, and all while relying on gravity to hold everything together while it's, drying. It's just such a nightmare. The mirrors are a special kind of nightmare. For me, I found if I glue on this triangle here, and then I glue this support from here down to the door, they'll dry usually pretty well. Then I have to glue this triangle on underneath. That triangle, like I described, has to use gravity to stay put while it's drying. Okay, so now assuming you get all that on without it all falling apart, you have to glue this piece on. That's what holds the mirror. I tried 3 separate types of glue, all of them with different dry times, and all it does is fall off. There's nothing holding it in place while you're hoping it will dry. And then we get down to the actual mirror. Now I actually have this side done. So you got the mirror already glued in place. You put that on, all it wants to do is just fall off. It's a real problem for me. While I get there in the end, I usually end up with smudges, and it might not show, but on the glass on this side, there's glue spots because, this piece wants to fall off, and where does it fall? It falls right onto the glass. I haven't gotten to the mirror on this side yet. I've smudged up the side of this thing in horrible ways because, fingerprints, they don't like a surface like clear coat. No matter how long you let it dry, you squeeze hard enough, you're going to leave fingerprints. It's a real problem. I'd like to say this will be the last AMT kit I build because I have quite a fleet going as it is. And my frustration level with the mirrors especially is saying I don't ever want to do another AMT kit, but I know I'm going to because frankly they're the only kits out there. Revel has a few kits, but they're not like AMTs. They're nowhere near as good. So I opted not to record that process because it was maddening, and I don't think anybody really cares to see me rage. And I mean, the swearing was epic, honestly. And I don't swear by nature. It's just not who I am. But another problem I run into, and this was a problem with a Revel kit I had, one of the first truck kits I ever built. You got these really cool little mud flaps that you put on right here on the back side of the fender the fender for the hood. If I glue that on, it doesn't clear the battery box. Even the fender alone doesn't clear the battery box. I'll have to squeeze it, but if I glue that on, there's no way I can ever close this hood. I don't know. I can't understand that. That just doesn't make any sense to me. So I have to leave these mud flaps off. If someone's built this truck and, they have an idea of where I went wrong with that, I mean, the battery box it's clearly labeled. It goes specifically where they're glued on. So I know it's not because I glued them in place, in the wrong place. They're where they're supposed to be, but for whatever reason, and now I can't get there we go. So the hood will close, but it will never have those mud flaps because I'll never be able to open or close them, and that battery box has already come off. So, I don't know, fitment issues have always been a problem for me with AMT kits as well, so I know that's going to be part of the problem, but anyway, so I'll finish off the cab. I'll start gluing on some of these, the markers and things on the hood. We'll get the cab glued on, and then we'll finish off the kit. I think we're real close to being finished, so we'll be back in a few. Okay, so I got the mirrors all on. I think that's all the details I need to put on. Despite the few smudges here and there, I like it. I'm pleased. It's still an enjoyable kit. Don't let my previous rant, sour you on A, my videos, and B, this kit. Up to this point, this kit has been pleasurable. It's been a good time. It's fun. And it looks great so far. Again, it's just little things like that. They're maddening when you're trying to put them together and all they want to do is fall apart. That rant aside, I think we're at the point now where we're going to mount the cab. Now, all it does, I guess, is just glue. It rests these little sort of circles here, these notches. They rest on these posts, these cab mounts. And then the back of the cab rests on this part here. So we'll go ahead and we'll put some glue on. We'll get it mounted and we'll see how we feel about it. Okay, got some glue. Now this part's interesting. I might have to do this off camera because I'm gonna have to pick it up and it's kind of a nightmare. it's gotten to the point where it's a big thing now, and it's harder to handle. Yeah, so those little cab mounts, they get glued on like that, and it's glued, it's in place. Obviously we got to let the glue dry. So there we are. That looks pretty cool. Now in theory this should close, but of course I have to bend these. I might actually trim the fenders down a little bit so that they'll clear the battery box. It's a shame that's what I have to do. I don't know what they were thinking with that. I mean, I'm the only one who's built this and discovered that? Did I do something wrong? I just don't know. But I do like that. It's a very, very, very pretty truck. That is really cool. So let me, I'm gonna go get the other truck. I think it's a Freightliner. It's almost identical in a lot of ways, and it was pointed out to me by a commenter, and I'll try and remember to put his name up on the screen. But he said that they are pretty much an identical truck. Let me go get that real quick. Okay, yeah, so I got the Diamond REO here, obviously. And then I have the Coca-Cola truck, I think no, it's a Western Star and the battery box. This is why I don't like to detail the batteries so that they're visible, because the battery boxes like to fall off constantly, and it's so yeah, they're a very, very similar truck in a lot of ways. The major differences are that this one has a massive fuel tank on this side of the truck, and one battery box on the other side, where this one has the two battery boxes and a smaller fuel tanks. Similar sizes, I think. Yeah, it's an identical size. I mean, the Western Star might be a little bit bigger in length. So yeah, that's my Coke truck. I actually did this one just after Christmas, because I got this and the trailer kit with it. Obviously those videos no longer exist thanks to YouTube deleting my old account. So yeah, I'll put this away real quick. We'll come back, and I think we're left to just putting on the details for the hood, and then we can move on to the trailer part of it. So yeah, we'll be back. And we're done. I do apologize that I didn't show the assembly of the trailer and the assembly of this part of the trailer that's attached to the truck. To be fair, the trailer was already built. I think I showed that in one of my earlier videos. And this part was already assembled, just needed to be set in place. So, but it is done. I painted the logs. I think I also showed that. The roof, the headache rack is on, the exhaust is in. It looks great. I mean, this thing really looks nice. Couldn't be happier with it. A few little headaches here and there, but they're the headaches that everybody who has an AMT kit knows all about. Take the camera down. We'll take a look. And I think it just looks really nice. Not going to claim to be a photographer of any kind. So what you see is what you get. But it does look really cool. That's going to look great on a shelf. Let me turn on the light here. There we go. Yeah, that just looks really nice. I got a chain in the back there, left over from my Halcon kit. It's gold, doesn't match. Might paint it, might just take it out completely. It doesn't need to be there. There's the logs. Dry brushed, of course. The underside of the trailer. Yeah, just really cool looking. I'm very, very pleased with that. For the most part, I'm pleased with most of the kits that I build, in spite of being an AMT kit, which is always a massive headache for me. But they do tend to be the most detailed and the better looking of all the kits. So don't, you hear me ranting about AMT, don't, take it too seriously. It's just my frustrations over some of the problems that I'm having building. But AMT kits tend to be the better kits. If you're going to build a truck, buy an AMT. Probably the best kit that I've built to date might have been the Coca-Cola. Is that a Freightliner? I always forget the model. This one is a close second. I think this one overall was just pleasurable to build. The detail is really, really good. I can't say anything else about it. I mean, it looks great. It was good fun to build. If you can get these, now I had to order them separately because the Diamond REO I don't think is actually part of the. It's not, it's not meant to be a kit, a dual kit. It's the trailer and it's whatever truck you happen to or tractor you happen to want to put the trailer with. So, I say get them. I think the Diamond REO looks great behind in front of this trailer. I think it's worthwhile for sure. I think I got mine on eBay because I know Hobby Lobby doesn't carry these. I think that's it. Not much else to say. If just good fun. It's just good fun. Frustrations, yes, all kits have them. But it's just fun and it looks wonderful. It's going to look great on my shelf. I think pretty soon I'm going to do a fleet rundown video. I'll show basically all of my trucks and all of my trailers on all my trucks. I have several now. I had a video like that on my old channel, but again, it no longer exists. So it'll be new to everybody. And I'll explain, the problems I had with whatever kits, and also the good things about those kits too. There are some really good things about these kits. I think that's it. Again, you're looking for a truck, you're looking for a trailer, buy them. They're great. And thanks for watching.